Welcome back to the channel, where we bring you the most incredible stories behind rare and valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but could actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars. That's right, one recently sold for an eye-popping $70,000, and you're about to learn why. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln penny has been a staple of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over the decades, various changes were made to the design and composition of the coin. By 1974, the penny featured the familiar Lincoln bust on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. What makes the 1974 penny especially intriguing is that it was minted during a time of experimentation and transition in U.S. coin production, in 1974. The U.S. Mint was exploring alternatives to the copper composition of the penny due to rising metal prices. As a result, some experimental aluminum cents were struck that year, although very few survived, and they are now considered ultra-rare. However, the standard circulation pennies minted that year were still composed primarily of copper, and they were produced at three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now here's where it gets interesting. The 1974 Lincoln penny struck at the Philadelphia Mint carry no mint mark. That's normal for Philadelphia coins of that era. But what's not normal is that certain no-mint mark 1974 Lincoln pennies are now commanding staggering prices on the collector's market, and not all of them are errors or experimental issues. Some are simply flawless examples of the coin that have survived in pristine condition for over 50 years, making them highly desirable to collectors who value condition above all else. One such example recently rocked the numismatic world when it was graded as a high mint state and sold for an astonishing $68,934. That's right, a penny worth less than a gumball is now worth more than a brand new luxury car. And the reason is simple: rarity, condition, and collector demand. Let's talk about the condition first. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin with no flaws visible under magnification. A 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that receives a grade of mint state 67 or higher is exceedingly rare. The vast majority of pennies from that year have been circulated, scratched, or damaged in some way. But if you're lucky enough to find one that's been well preserved, especially one that has never been touched by human hands and shows full original luster, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Next comes the demand. As more collectors enter the hobby and as older coins become harder to find in high grades, the value of rare coins continues to climb. The 1974 Lincoln penny is no exception. And with some recent auction prices nearing $70,000, it's clear that demand is not slowing down anytime soon. So, what should you look for in your pocket change, coin jars, or inherited coin collections? First, check for the 1974 date without any mint mark below the year. Then, inspect the coin's condition. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair, a strong strike on the Lincoln Memorial, and clean, shiny fields free of nicks and blemishes. If it looks nearly perfect, it could be worth getting it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Also, be aware that some error varieties from 1974 can bring even more value. Double dies, off-center strikes, and other minting anomalies are always popular with collectors. But even without any errors, a pristine 1974 no-mint mark penny is now a certified treasure. Let's quickly recap. The 1974 Lincoln penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While it was produced in large numbers, very few high-grade examples have survived to this day. One such coin recently fetched over $68,000, and values for other top-quality examples are rising fast. This coin is a perfect example of how something so small and seemingly insignificant can hold incredible value and historical significance. The next time you're sifting through coins or rolling your change, keep an eye out for that 1974 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. You never know, You could be holding a fortune in your hand without even realizing it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story about rare coins worth big money. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a rare penny or want to learn more about valuable coins in your own collection. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep searching for that hidden treasure. This is your Coin Guide signing off. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. If you love numismatics or just want to know if that 1-cent coin in your drawer could be worth thousands, then stay tuned, because today's video is about one of the most talked about and sought after Lincoln cents, the rare and fascinating 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You heard that right. A coin with a face value of just 1 cent, now commanding a jaw-dropping price of up to $70,845 in the current market. So, let's dive deep into the history, the mystery, and the money behind the 1977 Lincoln penny with no mint marked. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin has undergone a few changes over the years, but the obverse featuring Lincoln's bust has remained. The reverse side in 1977 still displayed the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. By 1977, Lincoln cents were being minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with coins from Denver carrying the D mint mark. However, coins struck in Philadelphia traditionally had no mint mark at all. So when we say the 1977 no mint mark Lincoln cent, we are generally referring to coins minted in Philadelphia. But there's more to this story than meets the eye. Most 1977 Lincoln cents are common and can be found in circulation. Over 4.4 billion of them were minted, which means most people assume they are worthless. But that assumption would be a huge mistake, because in certain rare cases, some of these coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. And yes, one particular specimen sold for an astonishing $70,845. So what made it so valuable? There are a few key factors that make the 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny so special. First is condition. Coins that are graded in perfect or near-perfect condition by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are incredibly rare. A coin graded MS67 or higher is considered a high-end example, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for it. Second is rarity. While billions of these coins were minted, only a handful survive today in pristine, untouched condition. The higher the grade, the fewer the coins, and the more the value increases. But that's not all. Errors and die varieties can also boost the value tremendously. Double die obverse, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and other minting anomalies make a coin not only rare but historically significant. And while Philadelphia minted coins have no mint mark by default, certain examples of the 1977 penny have drawn collector attention because of unique visual anomalies, strong striking, and near-perfect surfaces that make them standout examples of the type. Now, let's talk about how one of these seemingly ordinary coins managed to fetch over $70,000. The coin in question was a 1977 no mint mark Lincoln cent graded MS67 red by PCGS. That means it was in mint state with a full red luster, a nearly perfect coin with razor-sharp details, pristine surfaces, and no signs of wear. Collectors recognize how rare it is to find a coin from the 1970s in that level of condition, and when it hit the auction block, the bidding war was fierce. The final sale price stunned many in the numismatic world, $70,845 for a single penny. Let that sink in. A coin that could have been spent on candy back in the day is now a rare treasure worth more than many new cars. And that brings us to the current market value. As of today, top-graded examples of the 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny are highly desirable among collectors and investors. While most circulated examples are worth only face value or slightly more, Coins graded MS-65 red or higher can sell for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars. But for the elite few in MS-67 red condition, the value can skyrocket, with one record-setting piece reaching the incredible price of $70,845. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare and valuable coins? Start by checking your change. Look for any 1977 Lincoln cents without a mint mark. Examine the coin for sharp details, full luster, and no visible wear. If it looks promising, consider sending it to a reputable coin grading service for authentication and appraisal. You never know, you might be sitting on a hidden fortune, and here's a tip. If you come across rolls of old pennies at estate sales, garage sales, or even at your local bank, don't overlook them. Hidden gems like the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln cent can still be found in the wild. It just takes a sharp eye, a bit of patience, and a little numismatic knowledge to sum it all up. The 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is more than just pocket change. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of enduring value, and in rare cases, a life-changing discovery. From a minting facility in Philadelphia in 1977 to the hands of a lucky collector decades later, this coin's journey proves that even the smallest things can carry incredible worth. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable pennies, rare coins, and how to spot money-making treasures in your own pocket change, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Share this video with friends and family. Who knows, they might have a 1977 Lincoln penny worth a fortune sitting in their coin jar right now. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. Welcome back to the channel, fellow coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most exciting and astonishing stories in modern U.S. coin history. We are talking about the 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark, a coin that, believe it or not, can be worth up to $38,645 in today's market. That's right, a penny that could fetch the price of a luxury car or even a down payment on a house. Stay tuned as we uncover the origin, production, striking details, the rarity, grading secrets, and why this specific 1981 no-mint mark penny is making headlines and turning pocket change into big-time profit. Coin BACKGROUND. Let's begin with a bit of historical context. The 1981 Lincoln 1-cent coin is part of the beloved Lincoln cent series, which was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this penny became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person, a major change in numismatic tradition at the time. Over the decades, the design went through a few modifications, but the core image of Lincoln remained strong. BY 1981. The United States Mint was still producing the penny primarily, with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This was the final full year before the dramatic metal composition change in 1982 when the U.S. Mint switched to primarily zinc coins with only a copper coating. That makes 1981 one of the last years for true copper Lincoln cents, which are already more desirable to many collectors due to their higher metal content. No mint mark. What ITM is now, let's talk about the no mint mark issue. Coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint during this period typically carried no mint mark at all. So on the surface, a 1981 penny with no mint mark may seem ordinary. However, not all no mint mark 1981 pennies are the same. The devil is in the details. Certain 1981 no mint mark pennies are strikingly unique, featuring unusual errors, exceptional die characteristics, or high-grade preservation that catapult their value into the thousands. Rare varieties and errors COINS now. Here's where things get thrilling. Some of these 1981 no-mint mark pennies are classified as rare due to minting errors or striking anomalies. These include double die obverse errors where the lettering or date shows noticeable doubling, off-center strikes that expose the blank planchet, and even rare die cracks and die clashes that occurred during the coin's production process. What makes these error coins valuable is their scarcity and the condition in which they have been preserved. A rare example of the 1981 Lincoln penny with no mint mark that sold for over $38,000 at auction was a coin in pristine condition, graded extremely high, with an error visible to the naked eye and absolutely minimal wear. Almost as if it were just struck yesterday. Grading and market value ESO. How do you know if your 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny is worth money? It all comes down to grading. The top grading agencies like PCGS and NGC assign coins a score from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless specimen. A penny in uncirculated condition, especially one graded MS65, MS66, or higher, can easily be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Combine that with a dramatic error or rare die variety, and you've got a penny that can fetch up to $38,645, just like the one that recently shook the numismatic world. To give you a better idea, a 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny graded MS67 read by PCGS or NGC can easily bring in $5,000 to $10,000. However, if the coin shows a rare die variety or minting error, that number can skyrocket. And when such a coin is in pristine condition with full red luster and sharp strike details, you enter that elite territory where collectors and investors bid tens of thousands for a single cent. Why collectors pay big money? You may be wondering why someone would pay so much money for a penny. The answer lies in the principles of rarity, condition, and demand. Numismatics is a field driven by passion and the hunt for unique pieces. When a collector finds out that only a few coins of a certain variety exist in gem condition, they're often willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history. Combine this with the story behind the coin, the final year before the copper transition, the no mint mark mystery, and a high-grade error, and you have a coin that's not just metal, but a conversation piece, an investment, and a legacy. How to check your coin? So how do you check if your 1981 penny is one of the valuable ones? First, look for the absence of a mint mark. It should be just below the date on the obverse side. Next, examine the coin under magnification to see if there are any signs of doubling, unusual spacing, or off-center strikes. Finally, assess the color and condition. Does your coin still have its original red luster? Are there scratches, dents, or dull spots? If you believe you have something special, consider sending it to a grading service for authentication and a professional opinion, where to sell and how to profit. If you discover that your 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a rare variety or in high-grade condition, there are several ways to sell it for a premium. Trusted auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers regularly deal in rare coins and attract serious bidders. You can also explore certified coin dealers, numismatic shows, or online platforms like eBay, though be sure to list the coin with its full grade and error details to attract high-end buyers. There you have it. The fascinating story of the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a seemingly ordinary coin with the potential to change your life. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone who just happened to find this penny in pocket change, knowing the signs to look for and understanding the value behind this coin can lead you to an exciting and profitable discovery. Always keep your eyes open, check those old jars and drawers, and you might just stumble upon a penny that's worth over $38,000. If you enjoyed this video and want more content about rare and valuable US coins, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a future update. Thanks for watching and happy treasure hunting! Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the world of rare coins and the incredible stories behind them. If you're a collector, an enthusiast, or someone who just found an old penny in your pocket change, then you're going to want to pay close attention to today's video. Because we're about to explore the fascinating history, the shocking value, and the high demand surrounding one of the most talked about coins in the modern numismatic world, the 1998 Lincoln 1-cent penny. That's right, a tiny 1-cent coin that might be worth as much as $56,876 today. You heard that correctly. 1 cent turning into over $56,000. Let's get into it. First, we need to understand the origins and background of the Lincoln cent. The The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Over the decades, it went through numerous changes, from the wheat ears reverse design to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959, and then eventually to the Union Shield design in 2010. But between these transitions, there were certain years and mint marks that stood out due to rarity, errors, or simply low production runs. And one of those exceptional years was 1998. In 1998, the Denver Mint struck millions of Lincoln pennies. These coins bear the D Mint mark just below the date. At first glance, the 1998 D penny might look like any other ordinary coin. It's made mostly of zinc with a thin copper plating. It features the familiar image of President Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But the story doesn't end there. Among the many coins produced that year, a select few have caught the attention of collectors, dealers, and auction houses. Why? Because of their exceptional condition, their rare die varieties, and in some cases, unusual minting errors. Now, let's talk about what makes some of these 1998 D. Lincoln pennies worth thousands of dollars, and even up to $56,876. In the world of coin collecting, value is determined by several factors. These include the coin's condition, also known as its grade, the rarity of the coin, the presence of errors or varieties, and the demand among collectors. For example, if a 1998 D penny is in perfect mint state condition, graded MS 70 by a professional grading service, its value skyrockets. Why? Because nearly all coins have tiny imperfections due to the minting process. So a coin in flawless condition is extremely rare, but it's not just condition that makes this coin valuable. Some 1998 D pennies were struck using a proof die or have a strong doubling on the obverse, known as a doubled die variety. These errors occur when the die used to strike the coin has a misalignment, creating a visible doubling of the design elements. For example, doubling may appear on Lincoln's eyes, the lettering, or the date. These error coins are highly sought after and can command huge premiums in the market. One particular specimen of the 1998 D penny was graded by a top-tier grading service and listed in mint state with an extraordinary finish. That coin went on to sell at auction for an incredible $56,876. Imagine that. A penny, something we often ignore or toss aside, selling for nearly $60,000. It just goes to show how important it is to check your pocket change and look at every coin carefully. So, what should you look for if you think you have a valuable 1998 D. Lincoln penny? First, examine the coin under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass to check for any doubling, especially on the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." Check the condition of the coin. Does it have sharp details? Are there any scratches or discolorations? If it looks promising, consider having it evaluated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm its authenticity, assign a professional grade, and even encapsulate it for protection. Let's also talk briefly about the current market. Coin collecting has grown in popularity over the past few years. Online auctions, numismatic conventions, and social media have made it easier than ever for collectors to buy, sell, and trade coins. This increased demand has caused rare coins like the 1998 D. Lincoln penny in mint state to rise in value. A penny that may have sold for a few $100s 10 years ago could now fetch thousands more, especially if it's a rare variety or error coin. As of now, the record sale for a 1998 D. Lincoln penny stands at $56,876, and the market continues to show strong interest in high-grade examples. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, don't underestimate the power of a single penny. The next time you come across a 1998 D. Lincoln cent, take a second look. You could be holding a tiny treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. And remember, knowledge is key in the world of coin collecting. The more you know, the more likely you are to discover something truly valuable. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on another story about coins that are worth big money. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your change, or if you want me to cover another penny that could be hiding in plain sight. Until next time, keep hunting and happy collecting. Welcome back, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and all curious minds. Today's video will take you deep into the incredible story of a seemingly ordinary coin, the 2003 Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. A coin you might have once tossed into a jar without thinking twice could actually be worth a staggering amount of money. That's right, we're talking about values reaching as high as $56,000. Sit back and get ready to learn everything about this rare penny's history, its hidden value, and what makes it one of the most sought-after modern pennies in the collector world today. Let's begin with a little background on the 2003 Lincoln penny. This coin was minted in the Denver Mint facility, identified by the D Mint mark. At first glance, the coin looks just like any other 1-cent piece that you might find in pocket change. It features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, which has been a standard design since 1909, originally created by Victor David Brenner to honor Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the reverse, you'll find the classic Lincoln Memorial design that was used from 1959 all the way through 2008. Now, you might be wondering, what could possibly make a 2003 penny worth tens of thousands of dollars? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and mint errors. Let's break each of those factors down. First, let's talk about mintage. In 2003, the Denver Mint struck more than 3 billion Lincoln pennies. So, in raw numbers alone, this coin doesn't appear to be rare. But not all pennies are created equal. Among the billions minted, a small number left the facility with significant minting errors. And those rare errors are what collectors go crazy for. One of the most valuable types of error found in 2003 pennies involves a dramatic die clash or a double die error, which happens during the minting process when dies become misaligned or pressed together without a coin planchet between them, causing unusual impressions to appear where they shouldn't be. In some rare cases, these errors produce a visually stunning result, such as doubling in Lincoln's eyes, the lettering on the coin, or abnormal markings around the date or mint mark. Another error variant involves off-center strikes, where the image is not properly centered on the coin, which significantly increases its rarity. Next, let's consider the condition of the coin. In numismatics, or coin collecting, condition is everything. The grading scale used to assess coins runs from poor to mint state, with mint state coins designated as MS, followed by a number from 60 to 70. A coin graded MS 70 is in perfect condition, flawless, even under magnification. A 2003 penny in mint state 69 or 70, with a recognized mint error, is extremely rare and valuable. Some of these have sold at auctions for thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars. Let's talk about the big number, $56,000. That amount is not just an internet myth or wishful thinking. In fact, certain high-grade 2003 pennies with dramatic and certified mint errors have sold in top coin auctions for amounts approaching that figure. Coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have authenticated and graded these coins, giving them premium certification that adds enormous value. When a rare coin like this appears at auction, especially one in top condition with a stunning error, elite collectors are ready to compete for it with deep pockets. So, how can you tell if your 2003 penny might be one of these valuable treasures? Here's what to look for. First, examine the coin carefully under bright lighting. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect the details. Check for doubling in the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date. Look at Lincoln's eyes and mouth for any strange shadowing or duplicated features. On the reverse, examine the Lincoln Memorial for signs of doubling or unusual marks. Also check to see if the coin is misaligned, off-center, or if it has any strange indentations or surface irregularities. If you suspect you have a coin with one or more of these features, do not clean the coin. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value. Instead, store it safely in a protective holder and send it to a reputable coin grading service such as PCGS or NGC for professional evaluation. If your coin is confirmed to be a high-grade specimen with a verified min error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Let's take a moment to reflect on why modern coins like the 2003 penny are exciting for collectors. Unlike ancient coins or classic rarities that have been studied for decades, modern era coins are still being discovered, often right out of circulation. That means the next valuable penny could be sitting in your change right now. And coins like the 2003 penny prove that you don't need to be a professional numismatist to find valuable coins. You just need a sharp eye, a little knowledge, and the curiosity to look. Now, let's look at what the current market trends are for the 2003 penny. As of this year, coin collectors are actively searching for these rare varieties, especially those certified in high grades. On average, a regular 2003 penny in circulated condition is worth only face value 1 cent. But a 2003 penny with a significant mint error and graded above MS65 can sell from a few $100s all the way up to tens of thousands. The highest reported sale reached the incredible mark of $56,000 for a near-perfect example with a rare doubling error and pristine surface quality. The demand for error coins continues to rise as more collectors enter the hobby and as online auction platforms make it easier to find and bid on these numismatic treasures. Every year, new record prices are set, and coins once thought to be ordinary are being re-examined for their hidden value. So, before you toss your pennies into a drawer or spend them at the store, take a close look. That 2003 mint mark Lincoln penny might just be the key to a small fortune. If you've got one, check for those telltale signs: doubling, die clashes, off-center strikes, and pristine condition. You might just have a coin that belongs in a museum or auction house, not in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed learning about rare and valuable pennies like the 2003 Lincoln cent, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on the next money-making coin discovery. Drop a comment below if you think you might have a rare penny, or if you want us to cover another specific coin in an upcoming video. Until next time, keep hunting and happy collecting.